There is always money for the things that you want and absolutely must do. If you absolutely must do something, you'll always find something. Secret number 4, no budget. If there's no budget, how can I do business? I mean, the ideas that you're proposing is so good. I love this, but I don't have money. Without money, I cannot move forward. What do I do now? Oh my goodness. What do you do now? Like when somebody's talking like this, somebody's telling you, I mean, this seems like really pretty good idea for our business, but I don't have budget. So first of all, there's always money for the things that we absolutely must do. Say this with me. Put that in the chat too. There is always money for the things that you want and absolutely must do. If you absolutely must do something, you'll always find something. You'll always find money. So I want you to go with that belief. You're like, somebody has no budget. Okay, you have no budget. Goodbye. I'll see you later. That is not how you deal with things, right? You need to find out. Maybe they don't know how money exists. They don't know how to find money. They don't know how to resource money. They might not be resourceful. Like, I'll talk about a few best practices on that in a second, but the strategy is decide not to work with anybody who's cheap. If it is possible for your business, figure out a way to not work with people who are cheap. They're like, they're like nitty-gritty about like $1, half a dollar, like small amount. Don't waste your time on those people. Make sure that you work with quality people. So that as a general strategy, it's really important. If they don't have budget and if they're cheap, don't work with them, right? That's going to be horrendous. It's going to be horrible for you to work with them. Without losing your doctor's frame, which you know what doctor's frame is. If you listen to my previous videos, if you haven't, basically the idea is to act like a doctor. Go from the confidence of a doctor when he's prescribing a medicine to a patient. He's not vibrating. He's like, Tylenol. I have heard about Tylenol. Acetaminophen. I think the ingredient is acetaminophen. Or is it ibuprofen? I know there are some confusing words about this. If the doctor is saying like that, do you think you will trust him to take the medicine? It's like, I know the color is blue. Definitely the color is blue. No. It's kind of red. It's kind of red medicine. So you just go to the pharmacy, look for the red medicine, and you will find it. I think it is on aisle 14 or 17. Towards the top on the right side with a red bottle. Just get the red medicine and you'll be fine. You wouldn't take it. Like, you would not trust that doctor, right? The doctor is so specific. Like he writes this thing in a really weird way that you cannot even read, and then write it and send it to the physician, pharmacist who has a jacket, like the white jacket, and doctor has a white jacket and the pharmacist has a really white jacket, and they'll be like, talking like king. Okay, so you have this prescription. Okay, that you need to be filled. Okay, acetaminophen. Okay. Got it. Come back in like a month. We'll have it ready. I'm kidding. But the point is that they talk with authority. So that is what a doctor's frame is, going with the frame of power, right? And with that, without using the doctor's frame, give them ways to avoid the loss of not buying. So which means they are losing something by not buying. That will handle the objection. So the tactics is simple. Understand the context of why prospect is saying he doesn't have the budget. Somebody is saying they don't have budget. Maybe they are just saying that I don't have budget today. They might be like, there are situations in my life that I have seen people say, I don't have budget today. And if you don't specifically pay attention, they are saying they don't have budget today. They have budget tomorrow. They cannot buy today. Tomorrow is fine, but next quarter is fine. January is fine. I could start on January. That's fine, but I don't have money right now. That's perfectly fine. You could start on January. So at that point, if you don't understand the context, you're like, no budget. Okay, bye. I'll see you later. It's gone. Your deal is gone. You're losing money. Your business is not growing. Okay. Next thing is find resourceful way to find money. If you're in the US, if you're in certain parts of the developed part of the world, then there are so many ways to find money. There are different types of credit cards. There are different type of credit options. There are so many payment options. There are PayPal credits. There are so many different credit options available in the world. They could get a business loan depending upon what product that you're offering. There might be like personal development growth loans. There are so many loans, personal loans people take. If you're into construction, there are options for concession loans. So work with some people who can provide this loan service for your customers. So somebody says, I don't have money, but if you could find money, I could work with you. Have different options for them to use their credit to buy more, buy your service, and you will get your money completely but somebody else is going to handle that, and they would probably give you a referral fee as well if that's something that you want to do, right? So because you're bringing the business, so many people will be interested in working with you because you are connecting, like you are getting them a lead, right? And there is a cost for them to get that lead, so and they'll be happy to pay you a small fee for giving them the lead. Makes sense? So be resourceful about money. There is a business that I used to work with that I was doing around $30 million in India, and they were like, okay, many people are saying we don't have money, we don't have money, we don't have money. And all of a sudden I worked with him to figure out a system with a bank. And so anybody who's doing this thing, it's a mega $500,000 type of like equipment. And for that equipment, what he needed to do was like people cannot get the loan. People don't have that kind of ready cash. $500,000 is a lot of money wherever in the world for a lot of people, right? So he said, you know what, I could get you a loan for $300,000. And then anybody who's buying their machine, because of the value of the machine, people are willing to pay, banks are willing to pay $300,000 as long as they have the assets, right? And he arranged the bank to do this loans for anybody who's purchasing their product. Their business basically grew 50% overnight, because people are like, okay, if you do that, then I could go with that, because most people don't know what options are available in the world. Cool. So, and then the last option, another option is when somebody say, I cannot afford it, then what you say is basically when they say they don't have a budget, they're saying I cannot afford it, right? So if they say I cannot afford it, you could say you cannot afford not to buy. What does that mean? It means that because of what you're losing right now, because of if you're losing like $10,000 a month right now, in the next 12 months, you could be losing $1,000 to $120,000. In the next 10 years, you'll be losing $1.2 million. In the next 25 years, you'll be losing approximately 2.4 plus 6, $2.8 million in the next 25 years. I mean, you cannot afford not to spend this $200,000 and get started with our product. So, but it's your decision. But if you don't, what happens is every year you're losing this $120,000. Would you rather lose $120,000 every year for the next 25 years, or would you spend that $9,000 and get started and resolve this issue starting right now? What would you prefer? You tell me what you want to do. I'm not going to pressure you to do this, but it's your decision. But I mean, as an intelligent business owner, wouldn't you want to handle this $120,000 per year problem right now, so that you can start saving money starting next month? You tell me what you want, and then all of a sudden they want to move forward. Tomorrow we are going to talk about, I need more information. Give me more information. This is all good. This is all good. I understand all these things, and I understand that, I mean, I could find out budget, but I need more information. If you don't have enough information, how could I buy from you? So how do you handle when somebody says, I need more information? That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. But before that, think about what action can you do. This is one action that I would like you to do. When you're talking to prospect, no matter where you are, what you do, what product or service you are offering, make sure that you qualify your prospects in advance. What does that mean? In terms of emotion, in terms of money, do they have the budget for paying for this? Are they serious enough? Do they have the need? Do they have the money? Do they have the decision-making power enough to make this decision so that they could move forward in the decision-making process? And if you don't see that they have the power, then you need to get out of the conversation or transition the conversation to where you have serious buyers in your conversation. So which means that you need to qualify your prospects in advance. You need to have your prospects qualified in advance so that you could increase the probability of them converting, and come up with a resourceful way to pay for your product. This is another action that I would like you to do. Like, what are the options to pay for your product or service? Maybe a government subsidy, a bank loan, payment plans, pay later technologies. There are so many of them all over the world. If you have it in your country, use that to come up with a kind of a payment plan, pay later kind of situation for your service. If you don't want to offer that yourself, use another company to do that so that you get paid, but they will be paying installments for whatever you're doing. And there are all kind of options right now available all over the world. But if your country don't have that option, start one. That will be a good idea, because people will be interested in utilizing the service. All right, tomorrow on secret number 5, we'll talk about how to handle when somebody says, I need more information. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Make sure that you put that in the comment. What is one thing that you're going to do to take your business to the next level based on what you learned today? Talk to you tomorrow.